Here we go, the continuation of the format of a formal letter. In the previous video, I gave you background information about formal letters as well as informal letters. I told you about the requirements of a formal letter, the features of a formal letter, why the formal letters are written, and I also differentiated between a personal letter and a formal letter. Now, we are focusing on the format of a formal letter. What do you mean by format? The structure. As I told you, without a structure, a letter is not complete because it gives shape. It gives shape and a form to the letter, just as the skeletal system gives a form and shape to our human bodies. So, we start the formal letter with the sender's address. What do you mean by sender's address? One who is writing the letter. That is the sender's address. Who is sending the letter? That person. And the whereabouts of the person. The address of the person. That is known as sender's address. Supposing you are writing a letter to the district magistrate. From where are you writing? So if your house has a number, then definitely you must mention the number of the house. And if you are residing in a locality whose street has a name, for example, you are residing in, let's say, Sarkanda. Sarkanda is the kind of locality. And if there is a street in Sarkanda, then obviously you have to mention the street's name. For example, if you are living in the street of Jawaharlal Nehru Street, you can mention the name of the street. So, house number, name of the street, locality. So, Jawaharlal Nehru Street, Sarkanda. Or Jawaharlal Nehru Street, Kadwatola, whatever it may be. So, the name of the street and the locality that you live in, house number. And after that, the district. In which district is that locality situated? So, it is in the district of Godda. So, you mention the city. This is how you write a proper sender's address. But what happens to students is, they just write down their name and Godda. Supposing if they are a resident of Godda, then they write the name and Godda. That's it. But that doesn't make a complete address. Your name, the house number, if your house does not have a number, the street on which you live, then the locality where the street is, and the district into which your locality falls, and then the pin code. You are aware of the pin code of Godda, 814133. That's the pin code, I believe. So finally you end up with pin code. So the sender's address must include all these features, all these details. Only then it will be easy for the official to locate where you are. If they want to send you a response, they read the letter. You are writing a letter of complaint. They read the letter and they want to send you a response. How would they send? Only when your address is complete can they send a response to you. Or if they want to give you a notice, an information, only if your address is clear, that would be possible. So, don't forget to write a complete address, including all these details. So, once the sender's address is done, then you leave a space. Give a small space. Leave a space. After the space, you write the date. The date on which the letter is written. And how do you write the date? See how I written. 6th December 2020. Don't write the word date. Now if you write like this, date 6 December 2020, this would be considered as wrong. Because you have used the word date. No. You must straight away start with the date, and it should have numerals and words. 2 numerals means numbers plus words. So the date should be made of these two things. Then comes the receiver's address. So sender's address is done, space given, date is written. Then comes the receiver's address. What do you mean by receiver? To whom are you writing? To whom? Are you writing it to the district magistrate, to the bank of manager, your principal, or to a publisher? To whom are you addressing? So that person is the receiver, one who receives your address. Okay, so that also has to be systematic like this. If you're writing it to the district magistrate, the district magistrate, you must write in full, not in an abbreviated form, the DM. We never do that. In a formal letter, everything is written in full. The, capital T, district, capital D, magistrate, capital M. So this is how it is written. The district magistrate. You are not writing his name. Never write the name of the magistrate even if you know that. We don't address the person by the name but by the position he holds, the designation that he holds, the district magistrate. Then of which district is he the magistrate? Godda, obviously, if you are writing it from Godda. But where is the office located? Kaduvatula, for example. So the particular locality where his office is located. And not only that, the district has to be mentioned, Godda. And then the pin code once again. You may say, I have mentioned the pin code here. That is okay. But when you are writing it to the receiver, an official, the complete address has to be there. Clear? So sender's address, space, date, and then comes the receiver's address. If you are writing it to the district magistrate, the district magistrate. If you are writing it to the principal, the principal. The definite article is used. If you are writing it to a manager of a bank, the bank manager. To the bank manager, Union Bank of India, Godda, pin code. Okay, so learn to write the correct address. Very often I see the address is incomplete. So this is a gateway. You enter a house through a gate. If the gate is closed, the door, you enter a house through the door. If the door is closed, how can you enter? So this exactly, senders and receivers addresses are considered as the gateway to a letter. They are the doors to a letter. So if the door is closed, how can you make an entry? If these addresses are wrong, the one who is correcting your paper will not read further. They will just strike off whatever is written after that. The rest of the details go invalid. Because you have made a mistake here. Remember. Then comes the salutation. What do you mean by salutation? You are requesting the person, okay, and you address the person politely. That is salutation. You salute the person before making the request. Respected sir or respected madam. If the district magistrate is a lady, okay, respected madam. If it is a gentleman, then respected sir. So, respected sir or dear sir. In the place of respected, you can also use dear. Either one. So, with this, we start the letter. Comma if you want. Then comes the subject. This is a very, very important part of the letter. Why? The subject gives you the problem in brief. The subject gives you the issue of the letter in brief. So you want to write a letter to the district magistrate against the stagnant water. Water is stagnant, not moving. Mosquitoes and other kind of harmful insects come and make their living there. It becomes a breeding ground, and because of that, diseases spread, people get affected, hospitalized, okay, health issues, okay, come up. So what happens? You have to mention that in brief. Remember, the subject of a letter is always in a single line. Written in a single line. Don't make it 2 to 3 lines. It's never a subject then. A subject must be brief, at the most 1 line. Sometimes within 2 to 3 words you can make a subject. For example, you are applying for leave to your principal. Leave of absence. Enough. Or requisition for leave. 3 words. Enough. So don't make the subject long. Don't make the subject lengthier. Make the subject, keep the subject as brief as possible, as short as possible, and this is very important. Then comes the body of the letter. So I will describe in one of the classes, I will write a letter and analyze the letter and inform you how a letter is opened, how the content is written and how you conclude the letter. But for time being, you must keep this in mind. Content. What is the content? The main subject, main matter of the letter. This is the body. This is the most important part of the letter. Why? Because it's the body of the letter. So in the body of the letter, you will state the problem. Now let me say, stagnant water. Respected sir, madam, I, your name, okay, a resident of the above mentioned address or a resident of Gonda would like to bring to your kind notice the issue of stagnant water in our locality. Okay, so in the beginning you introduce yourself and then you follow the problem. First, introduce yourself, your name, the resident, which means the place of residence where you reside. I, Sham, residing in Kadwatola, opposite the DC's residence, District Magistrate DM's residence, would like to bring to your kind notice. So you mention your name, you mention the locality where you're residing, and then you start with the problem. This is how you must start. Introduction. Then you describe the problem in detail. The water is getting stagnant, as I've just discussed. Mosquitoes make a breeding ground of that, and because of that dreadful diseases are on the rise. They are spreading faster, and therefore, the last conclusion. Therefore, I humbly request you. You request the official to take necessary action. So you must conclude it politely. Politeness is required here. Without a polite language, the letter is irrelevant. It will have no meaning. So keep this point in mind. So I humbly request you, a humble request has to be made. Well, I'm only giving you the instructions. I'm just kind of explaining how it is written. In the next video, I will write a letter, a sample letter, and discuss all the aspects of the letter. Conclusion. Then finally, this is a subscription. What do you mean by subscription? Now you're going to close the letter. So before closing, yours faithfully, yours sincerely. This is known as subscription. So many students write yours this way. Y-O-U-R and then apostrophe S. No, this is not the correct way. Time and again I have informed students, I instruct students, but still they fail to understand. They keep on making the same mistake. Please don't do this. There is no apostrophe before S or after R. Yours faithfully. Put a comma and then signature. Many students do not sign. They skip the signature and go to the next part, that is name in capital letters. No, signature is more important than this. And only the signature is made easier in the form of your name. Signature is in brief. You must know the difference. For example, this is my signature. But when I write my name, I write it in full. So there is a difference between the two. So you first give your signature and then open a bracket. Supposing your Sham, let's say this is your signature. S-H-Y-A-M. You are writing the name in capital. So signature with name in capitals completes the letter. So I hope you must have had a clear idea about the format. We discussed the format. In the next video, I will write a sample letter and then discuss the parts of the letter and also some rules along with that. So till then, go over these points and stay safe and work hard. God bless you.